now I'm going to take you through how to break a chicken down into its component parts. We've got this beautiful chicken which we bought this morning from Borough Market. It's free range, it's 100 days old. Obviously of age, it hasn't been stored for that long, otherwise it'd be inedible. But it's a really, really good chicken. You can see how plump it is, how muscular it is, quite different to some of the scrawny items you see on the shelves in certain supermarkets. Always try and buy the best you can, corn-fed, free range, from a reputable supplier. Your local butcher will be able to sort you out. You know, at the moment it's very important to support your local butcher and buy the best quality you can afford. So what we do when we start to break down a chicken, the first thing we do is we make an incision. There's a little pocket of air right there, which will make an incision there, and you can see the meat underneath. Now, we take that all the way down, and then what we have to do is hold on to the thigh and leg with our thumb and fingers and push outwards with your thumb to dislocate the joint right there. Now, this is a very important part. There is a little piece of meat right here called the oyster, or in French it's a solilet, which means the fool only leaves, and you would be a fool to leave it in there because this is the best bit on the whole chicken. There's only 2 of them and they're not particularly big, but they are absolutely delicious. I always save one for the wife when I roast the chicken. Now, that oyster is in this little crevice right here. You don't want to miss it. So we're going to bone that out very simply, and then we make a cut all the way down, and that is one of the legs off. So we repeat it again on this side, 1 cut, and then your thumb underneath, and then pull back and dislocate it. And then once again we remove the oyster and we make a straight cut all the way down. That's the other leg removed. So we've got 2 legs. Now we've got the wings. I'm from a restaurant background. I've been a chef for 20 years, and so I like to do fancy things sometimes. So what I'm going to show you how to do is how to French trim the wing bone. So we make an insertion against the bone, and then we follow the knife all the way around 360 degrees. And now if you place your fingers in there, you can feel the bone. You squeeze tightly and you pull it back, and then you just rip the wing off like so, and it leaves you a really nice clean bone. Now later on, when I take the breasts off, I'll show you why we've done that. So repeat it again with the opposite wing, all the way around like so. Squeeze tight, pull and twist, and then that just comes off. You've got 2 wings there. If you really wanted to, you could bone those out and you could stuff it with something, or equally deep fry it and serve it with blue cheese dressing and buffalo sauce for the ultimate buffalo wings. I'm going to remove a little bit of the skin from the neck there. That's excess to requirements. Now we have the 2 breasts. This is the wishbone right here, and when I was at college we were taught to go in there with a knife and scrape, 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 in with your fingers, trying to find the wishbone and then pull it out. There's absolutely no need for that. If you've got a good knife, you literally follow the breastbone all the way down until you hit the wishbone right there, and then with 1 sharp little crack, you're right the way through. Bring the knife all the way down and move back to your smaller knife. Follow the cartilage and the ribs of the carcass. It will guide your knife by itself. You should not be having to cut through any bone or anything like that. It's a very, very simple process. That is now your breast taken off. Okay, so you have the breastbone running along here. You can use that as a guide for your knife. So, let the knife do all the work, no pressure, all the way down to the end and straight down. Now, use the carcass the bone and the cartilage as a guide for your knife. You shouldn't be cutting through any bone. It should be long, fluid, continuous movements. And then, like so, removing the breast from the carcass. Now, keep the carcass. Carcass makes wonderful stocks, soups. You can roast it up. It will add even more flavour to your soups and stocks. So, let's move this out of the way. We have the 2 breasts and the 2 legs. Now you could keep it like that if you wanted to. Roast them up, pan fry and roast the breasts. But if you want to make them go a little bit further, you can split them up into what we call a saute cut. So it's 8 different cuts. Now, if you notice here, there's a line of fat. This is the thigh, this is the leg. If you follow that line of fat with your knife, like so, it will just literally cut all the way through. You don't hit any bone, you don't hit any cartilage. It's like the chicken wants to be cut up by you. All the way through like so. And then we take the breast, give it a little trim, and then into 2. So there, from 1 chicken. Now that was quite an enormous chicken, to be honest. I think you could feed 8 people out of that quite happily. There's at least 200 grams of meat per portion. And that would generously serve 6 or 8 as a family.